Namaskaram, welcome back. Now, while we are fixated on COVID pandemic, there are other silent killers which are epidemic or could be even pandemic. And there are several of these, but we will discuss about two important or significant health assets. One is about insulin, the other is fatty liver. So let's look at insulin first. Now, insulin is a hormone that your pancreas produces to control blood sugar. And blood sugar is in response to the carbohydrates that you take. So, if you want to manage your blood sugar well, you must manage the amount of carbohydrates you take, how much you consume, what type of carbohydrates you can consume, and when not to eat carbohydrates. I've already covered this in my previous videos. So whenever there is blood sugar, your body will respond by producing insulin. Insulin is a necessary hormone for survival, without which the glucose cannot get into your cells, and insulin is also very important for building muscle. So muscle building needs insulin. This is why long-term diabetic patients, end stage, they lose their muscle mass. Two other very important functions of insulin would be to transport both magnesium and potassium into the cell. What happens if you become deficient in magnesium and potassium inside the cell? Your likelihood of getting high blood pressure, heart diseases, arrhythmias, including water retention, increases. So insulin does so many things, but it is a danger hormone when in excess. So why do you have excess insulin? Because of high blood sugar. And why do you have high blood sugar? Because you consume too much carbohydrate. It could be too much, it could be wrong carbohydrates. So if you want to control insulin, control blood sugar. You want to control blood sugar, control your intake of carbohydrates. So what happens when insulin is on the excess? Now, if this is for a short period of time, like if you go on holidays, you like to enjoy your food, it's okay. But long-term high levels of insulin will cause a condition called insulin resistance. Now, once you have insulin resistance, which means the cells will become numb to the insulin effect. So the blood sugar cannot be taken into the cell, so you'll have high blood sugar. Magnesium and potassium cannot be transported into the cells. It is difficult to build muscle. Insulin resistance poses a serious health problem, and I call this A to Z medical problem. That means it increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, cancers, diabetes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, chronic inflammation in the body, almost everything we can think of. It's because of high insulin levels. So long-term chronic elevation of insulin will result in insulin resistance, and this causes chronic inflammation in the body, and that can lead to almost all the diseases that we are talking about. So you need to manage your insulin level. And why is this important, and what are we missing? You see, whenever we check the blood, we are looking at blood sugar. We are not testing our insulin levels. It is very important to check your fasting insulin levels, because you will get into insulin resistance first before your blood sugar goes up. So blood sugar alone doesn't tell you the whole picture. You need to check your insulin. So the next time you do the blood test, insist on getting your insulin tested.